I solemnly swear that I am up to a moderate amount of good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano is pretty overrated for what she does, and this isn't just a knee-jerk reaction, or maybe it is. I guess let's talk about it here, guys. Before that, let's say thanks to my patrons and say thanks again. Double thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing. I couldn't do this without you. I really couldn't. And folks, if you want to support this channel for free, all you got to do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm before the algorithm mounts us. Either way, it's, I hear, fairly enjoyable, but I don't know that from experience. I've had tons of people tell me about it though, like almost too much information. So let's not get into that, and instead let's talk about this non-hot take that I have about Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. And it's not just a hot take. There are legitimate reasons behind this, guys. I try not to clickbait you, and in return, you tell me that I am. No, I don't get that many accusations. Honestly, I don't try to. I don't want to waste your time, but I will change the little caption at the top. Instead of saying, she's not worth the cost, she's not worth it so far, and I could probably change it again, but I won't, say, for some people, she's worth it right now. It depends on where you are in the game. And so a lot of people have countered this, talking to me about it, saying, but she is actually really strong. She's legitimately strong. And I'm not arguing that. She's pretty strong. Look at the level of futility she rendered my alt guild to here. I don't know if you can see how many holds she got, but that's not the mark of a really weak character. Of course, we have other things to take into consideration, including how people don't know how to beat her. We're not modded to beat her yet. The new Datacron is obviously going to be in her favor, all of that stuff, but she is really strong. All of those things, I mean, maybe she'll be weaker. She'll inevitably be a little weaker once we kind of figure out more things about her, but she's still pretty strong. And this isn't an overreaction to say, dude, everything beats her. Like, oh my gosh, did you see how Inquisitors beat her? I don't know if they do. Did you guys see how Kenobi destroys her? She can't even auto Supreme Leader Kylo in Arena. I don't know. Things like that. People level these really fun accusations, and maybe she's garbage, and maybe she's not. I don't think she is, actually. She seems like she's going to be about as strong as she should be, approximately. I mean, without knowing much more about how the Datacron is impacting things, without having more information of her interactions, we don't really know, but she does seem pretty strong, at least strong enough. I think she's strong enough so far. This isn't me saying she's not strong. All right, she's plenty strong. The issue isn't strength though. All Galactic Legends, when they're released, are strong. Leia, in fact, they were like, dude, she's not going to be good on defense. And then now Leia's one of the best teams on defense a lot of times. Not always, Datacron and things depending on what the meta looks like. But Leia has been very strong on defense and really strong on offense. And so was Jabba when he was released. And all the other Galactic Legends, when we got them, it was like, hey, look at that. This Galactic Legend is strong, by definition, right? That's what a Galactic Legend is an overpowered character. That's what they are. That's the intention, and we shouldn't be surprised when a Galactic Legend is better than all the other characters. So the issue isn't her strength. She is strong. She is strong. So what is the issue? So Galactic Legend Ahsoka was hyped a lot. She was hyped for months, right? I don't know if it was 6 months, if it was 7 months, maybe it was like a year and a half. It might have been decades. We're not sure. It's probably on the order of 6-ish months though, and she accumulated a crazy list of requirements as she was hyped. She had 6 new marquee characters, 3 of which aren't even available to farm. You can't farm her unless you want to spend all your crystals to get her, which it is still a kind of futile thing to do, frankly. She's not farmable unless you want to spend money, basically. That's 6 new marquees is a lot. That's twice what any other galactic legend has required. She has 3 characters at Relic 9, which other fleets have required Relic 9, but no other galactic legend has required Relic 9, which I'm not saying it's unreasonable. I'm just saying it's a lot compared to any other galactic legend. And she also requires more total relic levels than any previously released galactic legend, including Lord Vader, which was 90, Jabba was 76, and Leia was 82. And this is 15 more than the Lord Vader that most people say is not worth the number of relics he is required. Now, this isn't a debate about how worthwhile Lord Vader is. All I'm saying is he's a galactic legend, and people commonly associate him with the most expensive, ridiculous pricing for a galactic legend possible. And she jumps that by over 10%. Over 15%. I don't know percents, guys. Don't ask me about percents. I do actually know about percents, but apparently right now the knowledge has fled me and it doesn't matter. Suffice it to say, she's expensive compared to other galactic legends. That's not to say she's not strong. It's to say she's very expensive. Now, is she? The question is she worthwhile for other reasons, though? It's like, okay, well, yeah, she's expensive, but in return, I'm gonna get a lot, right? That's why people don't get Lord Vader a lot of times. Is what else? What does he do really for people? Like, what unique thing does he do? And he does a couple cool things, but not too much, right? Like, there's not as much incentive to get him, and that's why people haven't farmed him as much as most of the other galactic legends. So Jabba, when he was released, he was so worth it. It was like they just couldn't wait to make him as crazy important as possible. He had a node, an exclusive node on all Rise of the Empire phases, which is awesome, actually, because you can just hit auto. They're all really easy. He was required for the new raid at the time, the crate raid. His team was central to it, and it was the easiest one to get max banners or max crate or whatever it was for it. A Smuggler's Run 2 is an extremely valuable event that everyone should be trying to get. It makes him still one of the most important galactic legends in the game because of how amazing all of the requirements are, even though the raid doesn't exist anymore for most guilds. And then he was also really powerful. Just like other galactic legends, he was about as powerful as other galactic legends. When Leia came out, she was also powerful like other galactic legends. She was required for the new raid, and she was in fact very easy to get the max banners or score for her team. As long as she was unlocked. Or Escalation 3 was significantly worse than Smuggler's Run 2, if we're being honest. But it is an exclusive event that gives you rare materials, right? Like Omicrons don't just grow on trees, as far as I know. I haven't been able to verify the existence of an Omicron tree, but that would be neat to see, I think. Galactic Legend, Ahsoka has a list herself of reasons she's worth farming. She's powerful like other galactic legends. Is she more powerful than all of them? Maybe. That's just kind of how the power progression works. That's not always going to be the case. There's always going to be something that beats her that isn't necessarily even a galactic legend, or maybe there'll be, other galactic legends will certainly have combinations and ways to take her out. We'll have to wait and see what those are, and of course, Datacrons will shift and change all of that. She's looking like she's going to be powerful, though, like I've said a million times, but she's powerful like other galactic legends with this big asterisk saying, for the price of double the marquees that are currently they're not like fast to farm, right? They're not, they take a long time to farm all of these characters, and they cost a lot. They cost all the Cairo tech and everything that new characters do, and it requires a lot of Relic 9, it requires a lot of other relics. And so what am I saying? Like, you shouldn't ever farm her? We should just all boycott? No, I'm not at all saying that. The thing I'm trying to really say is She's good. She looks like she's gonna be about as strong as other galactic legends, and maybe a little power creeped a little, which is great. Honestly, that's fine. She's expensive and she should be good, right? And end game players who have everything else unlocked, of course you should work on her. Why wouldn't you work on her? She's the only thing you don't have. Like, she exists in a lot of ways for you endgame players, which is half of who watch my video, of course. But don't just like, no, Zareth said not to farm her. She's not worth. Of course, she's worth it to endgame. Obviously, she is. I shouldn't need to tell you that, guys. That, like, if you have all the other characters, then yeah, for sure. And honestly, guys, no pressure from me. If you think she's a really neat, awesome, fun character for your own reasons and you don't even care about how competitive it is, how efficient and all that, go for her. I'm not going to judge you. I don't care. Just do it, man. If that's worthwhile, if it's worth your dollars, then I'm not going to sit here and tell you don't do it. I'm just saying, if you want to be efficient, probably for most people, we don't have a reason to farm her. There's no events required. There's nothing right now. She's as strong as other galactic legends, or more strong. But there's not another reason, folks. There's not an event. There's not a raid. There's nothing so far. Eventually, maybe. But beyond the odd, like, Spectre tag, Galactic Challenge, or Conquest feat, her output can kind of just be replaced by another easier to obtain galactic legend, right? It's like, okay, I really need to punch a hole through Conquest. It's really tough for me as a 5 million GP player. I have to do something. I know what I'll do. I'll get Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, because she's going to get a bunch of good scores for me. Yeah, sure, that's true. She will. But also, have you looked at other Galactic Legends, or even just like the Great Mothers, or even just like the worse than Great Mothers Night Sisters team that are way cheaper and have the exact same results for the most part, except for Spectre tag specific missions? Like, of course she's going to be good, but she's replaceable for the most part, right? And otherwise, there's nothing requiring her. There's no hint of her for a new raid. In fact, the community has largely embraced the idea. I don't know if largely, but they're slowly embracing the idea of it's not even going to be a Peridia raid, because they've made no announcement, and now Bad Batch are on their way, and maybe there's the Zillow Beast. I'm not saying that Calvin Awesome is wrong and stupid. Of course he's not about theorizing the Zillow Beast raid, but I mean, if she's not required for the raid, then why would most people work on her? She is crazy expensive. She is crazy expensive. Of course, if any of that changes, if they say, hey guys, we've been a little laggard in announcing the raid that we typically have announced by now, if we're going to release it by February, and here's the new raid, and Ahsoka's required, which is the thing I've been predicting for a long time, and I still kind of think it's going to happen. If that changes, and they announce that, then she suddenly is more worthwhile. I don't know, we'll have to evaluate it once that happens. If they're like, hey, guys, there's a new node that she can unlock, or she's essential for some special mission in Rise of the Empire, or, she has a new game mode, a new event, a new something. But right now, all she is strong. And whereas that's cool and that's good, that doesn't make her worth anything, really, other than another strong galactic legend. I still advise people to farm some of her requirements, at least. Like the zombie troopers all have a cool assault battle that they are required for, and they're worthwhile. As the Spectre characters come out and are released, they are going to be required in Conquest and in Galactic Challenges, in other places, I'm sure. And even just a Hera-led team without Ahsoka is still probably pretty strong. The whole time I haven't even mentioned that the other requirement for her that isn't even a requirement, but it's a surprise or a secret, a hidden requirement, is Ezra, Exile from Conquest. You need him as well, because otherwise, without her lifter unit, she's not going to be nearly as strong, right? So, tons of requirements. Yes, she might be worth it eventually, but right now, especially for most players who don't have all the Galactic Legends, she's not something that you should just break yourself trying to chase. That's all I'm trying to say, folks. Like, she seems good. She's fine. But she's not really, she can be replaced. You can replace her. You don't need her. She is luxury right now. And that's it. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Maybe there's a counter argument I haven't considered yet. I would actually love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments. So please let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Especially when you comment and tell me what your thoughts are. Take care, everyone.